Hello, my name is Beck and welcome to my vlog for Starsight for Brandon Sanderson. This vlog is going to have spoilers for Skyward and spoilers for Starsight as I read it, so if you haven't read either of them, go out and read them. They're fantastic, but probably don't watch this vlog. This opening chapter so far has addressed everything that I was questioning when I finished Skyward. So Spencer has acknowledged that she's got the power called the cytonic hyperdrive, which is what she calls it. And she also acknowledges that she doesn't really know what she is, an M-bot, who I love. I love M-bot. Mentioned that she was inhuman because of her inhuman abilities, and that the space she goes into to use her ability is called, or well, she calls it the nowhere. And there are eyes there that watch her and are very angry and unnerving. So I can't wait to delve into what all of that means. I love that it's being set up in the first chapter, which means that we'll get to explore it, because this wasn't really the focus of Skyward. The focus of Skyward was more Spencer figuring out how to become a pilot and uncovering her father's journey within that as well. So I love that we've progressed past that and now we're into a little bit of her magic and what that might mean for the colony of her people as well. Oh, I know this book is going to be a 5 stars. I'm going to continue reading and I'll put the page number at the bottom of the screen so you can either read along or make sure you don't watch beyond a certain point to get spoiled by something in the plot. I love Skyward. I anticipate I'm going to love Starsight as well. Hello, I am here with a Starsight update. So I've read now 75 pages of this book and I just wanted to check in with a few things. It's been a couple of days, so I haven't had a chance to read as much of this as I want to. I thought I'd power right through this, but a few things came up, so it's been put on hold, but I'm getting back into it now. So the thing that I wanted to talk about is that usually with Sanderson, things in his plot seem like obstacles rather than conveniences, but something happened in this with a spaceship crashing and then Spencer had to make a split-second decision of whether to bounce one way or another, and I think she bounced the wrong way. I think Sanderson has set this up to seem like it's a simplistic plot device, but it's going to actually have a lot of ramifications later. So Spencer is going to go off and impersonate this alien who was supposed to be joining the Krell, which is their enemy, and get some insider intel on their army and their fleet and their technology and that kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing more about what is keeping the people like Spencer prisoner on this one planet and why they're so threatened by people like Spencer who have this magical ability. So for the world building aspect I'm interested, and for the plot development I'm interested, but it kind of frustrated me that it was a fairly convenient plot device because Spencer needed a way to investigate her powers and get into the Krell and infiltrate them, and suddenly the plot device literally fell from the sky. So I'm trying to suspend my disbelief a little bit because it's Brandon Sanderson. Like, he's got a bunch of stuff going on in his books. He's written enough of them to know what he's doing. So I think I'm just being a little bit snarky when it's unnecessary, so I need to stop being apprehensive and start just enjoying it, because in Skyward I felt much the same way about Spencer's character and I found her very one-dimensional and frustrating, and it wasn't until she kind of grew after at least 100 pages that I started to really like her. So I think I just need to give this a chance because I'm only 75 pages in. It's more than 400 pages long, so I think I just need to chill, because there was another thing that got me frustrated. And in Skyward, he set up this hate to love romance interest, and I am actually really trash for that trope. I love it so much, and Spencer and his character have formed a friendship, or like a grudging respect for each other, and that was awesome. And then in this book, she's starting to explore the fact internally that she's got some feelings for this guy, and then all of a sudden at like 75 pages in, they kiss, and I'm like, Brandon, where is your slow burn? What's going on? Why did that happen so suddenly? What's gonna happen to this character? Are they gonna die? Do I need to be worried about them? Like, they shouldn't have got that gratification so soon, so I'm very suspicious, basically. I'm hoping to knock out more of it this weekend, so hopefully the things that I'm a bit apprehensive about now, I won't be very apprehensive about later, and more things will come to the forefront of the story and more things will start to make sense. But things I love, I've met M-bot again and I've met Doomslug again, and I just love them as supporting characters. They're the best. Hello, I'm at page 311 now, and I want to talk about something where I was at about page 185, and I wrote in my notes, I have plot whiplash, and I think that was because Jorgen doesn't seem developed in this book. He kind of has chapters willy-nilly every now and then, and when we were on his chapter, it didn't really get built up, and he was like, I'm cytonic. And I was like, what? So that threw me off a little bit. It was a cool twist, but it just didn't really have much build up, so I was a little bit skeptical. And now that I'm more than 300 pages in, I'm liking what's going on with Spencer, because it's building up her situation and the characters around her really well. Initially I was like, why are we doing this? But now that I can see the characters interacting more and I know them a little bit more, I'm a little bit more accepting of the fact that Spencer's in a different place. I would like her to come back to detritus, because I miss the characters that she built up friendships with in the first book. I like what she's doing in the second book. I like how Brandon Sanderson is exploring alien races, and he's doing it in a way that's very unique and also very different to humans, and I really appreciate that. I like that he's put in Mortimer, I think is their name, and they're a mixture of both of their parents, and they're seeing what they're like for the next couple of months, and if their parents like that draft version of their personality, then they go ahead with it and they make that person a reality, and that's what they stick with. So it's interesting to have these characters which are very, very different from how humans understand them, and so we're kind of navigating them through how Spencer sees them, and it's just a really interesting dichotomy, especially when compared to our society now and how we try and figure out things like, for example, gender is something that if you're a straight white person you probably don't understand the ins and outs of. So it's nice to see a dynamic like that reflected in a different scenario here, so you can kind of get a dialogue and an understanding of it, and I really appreciate that. I also really love the kitten, the tiny little hamster creatures. They're both hilarious and adorable, and I kind of love them a lot. But for now we're at page 311 and we're back into Jorgen's perspective, and he looks like he is learning how to make bread with Spencer's gran, which just sounds precious. So I'm liking that we're back with him again. I hope that we get stuff a little bit more built up around him, because it's been like 2 weeks and Spencer has done quite a lot in comparison, and then Jorgen doesn't seem to have done much, and Detritus seems like it's going to be under major attack soon. So I'm just hanging out, honestly, for Spencer to go home. I'm now on page 372, and a bit of a confession. I was getting a little bit frustrated at how slow the plot was. Not slow, but just it seemed like Spencer wasn't doing a lot except going along with the world. And so I kind of skipped ahead a little bit and I just read a couple of lines, like a paragraph. So I knew about Doomslug being kind of a key element, so when it was revealed that she's the hyperdrive, I was like, not surprised, but cool twist. And then Kuna, or I think it's Kuna, C-U-N-A, when they were talking to Spencer and Spencer deactivated her hologram, I just didn't see that as too much of a surprise, but I like how it was done. And I like how Spencer rationalized that her reaction to Kuna this whole time had been based on the fact that Kuna couldn't smile, but Kuna's an alien and they were just trying their best to get along with Spencer, and that's what Spencer was misinterpreting. So I like that interaction. I think that's really nuanced and really well done. But now the end of the chapter was Vapor saying we've been mobilized because their flight is being sent into battle because a Delver has been spotted. So that's where we're at now, and I'm on page 372, so I don't have very much longer left in here to read. Spencer's now just deactivating her hologram all over the place. Spencer just revealed herself to Braid, who is another human, and it's pretty badly backfired. I reckon Jorgen is going to go under the planet because he was talking with Spencer's gran about feeling the stars and becoming kind of a cytonic, and she's kind of training him the way she trained Spencer in how to see the stars, but instead of looking upward he looks downward. So I reckon there's some sort of portal under detritus that Spencer is probably going to use to get back. Literally as soon as I said that she's going to use the cave, a page later she teleported herself back with her own cytonic powers, but she left Doomslug and Mbot behind, so I feel like Jorgen is going to come into play with those guys, which is all coming to a head, and we're in part 5 now. They're trying to summon a Delver so that the Delver can eat detritus, and Spencer is fighting with her new team that she has made, and they basically all know now that she's a human from detritus, so that charade is completely blown out of the water. But I really like how He-Show rallied with her and how Vapor rallied with her, and how Braid, the only other human being on their team, is rallying very hard against her. It's a really interesting dynamic and I really like it. It's so sad that Braid, who is a human raised by the superiority from age 7, she's just so far brainwashed. Oh, in and out of focus. Hello. She's just so far brainwashed that she's really far gone and she can't be saved, and that's just sad. Anyway, Spencer shot her ship, so she gone. And I'm not sad about it, so I didn't really care about her character. Oh wait, never mind, it missed. There's been all of this build up with Spencer and her alien team traversing the mazes, so I feel like because Spencer has accidentally unleashed the Delver onto the Starsight planet, that her team is going to teleport and then go for the Delver. So I'm interested to see what happens. Mortimer is still on Starsight and hasn't actually joined the team in the sky. Oh man, he sure died. But I wonder if we're going to have any more casualties before this ends. And I wonder where Jorgen is. He's just gone and disappeared. Yep, here we go. I'm on page 424 now, and a group of small fighters just outside the shield had appeared and now flew straight towards the Delver. So let's guess who they are. That's cool. Mortimer. They're like, I am two people, and so they can see right through all of the illusions. That was a good twist. Okay, that's really cool. I knew it. The Delvers are just another alien, and Spencer has had contact with them, and now we are in the epilogue. But she's also been thrust out into space, so... Oh, we're with Jorgen. It ends. All that build up with Jorgen exploring the caves and then Spencer escaping Starsight when Winzik is trying to manipulate things to make her look bad, and it ends on she was sucked to the other side of eternity. I'm assuming that that means she goes back to detritus, but it doesn't say it here. And it's cool that she set up the foundations of like a political alliance, and obviously Winzik doesn't want that to happen. When I started this I was going to give it 5 stars, but I think it had a really strong beginning and end, and then the middle bit took a little bit to develop, and then I don't know, there were some things I cared about, like Spencer, Jorgen, and the friendships that eventually came to a head at the very end, but while they were developing I didn't really care that much. I just wanted to hear about Spencer. The cool little twists were fun, and I kind of understood the fact that since Spencer was on Starsight with all of these aliens, that the Delvers were kind of aliens as well, but they were of obviously a larger magnitude, so I kind of saw that twist coming a little bit, and that's fairly unconventional when I'm reading Sanderson. I don't usually see his plot twists coming, so this wasn't a 5 like I thought it was, but it was a solid 4 and I really enjoyed it. So that concludes the end of my reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are for Starsight in the comments, and let me know what your rating is as well. I'd love to hear from you. But as for me, I will catch you in another video and I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye.